Recently, someone asked me, what is a business strategist? What is it that you even do? Well, technically, I'm really a professional problem solver. Just like you would go to the doctor if you're not feeling well. Sometimes you go to the doctor for a checkup, right? You just want to make sure everything is working as such, and you catch any issues before they even become issues. Another time that you go to the doctor, though, is when you're not feeling well and you don't know why, and you want a resolution to that problem. Well, that's exactly when my clients call me. They call me when they are not getting the results in their business that they want. And sometimes they don't know why that is. And sometimes they kind of have a good idea, but they do not know how to solve it in the most effective way possible. So, what I do is I come into their organizations, I ask a lot of questions, I pop the hood, I look at all of the areas of their business, from their leadership to the way that they're running their operations to their marketing campaigns to their brand marketing positioning. And really, there's 12 areas that I look at in their organization to find out where they are either leaving millions of dollars on the table or where they are costing their company millions of dollars and they don't even know it. And then I tell them how to fix it. So, one of the questions that I recently got asked when I was doing a podcast interview was, tell me the 5 hidden places that you find millions of dollars in your clients' businesses that they don't even know to look at. Where are you finding the hidden money? What I find is that entrepreneurs, when they get into businesses, at least the entrepreneurs that I work with, they don't get into business because they're masterful at business. They get into business because they love what they do. They've got a purpose in the world. They've got a calling. They have a passion. So I work with a lot of doctors. Work with a lot of consultants, high level coaches. I work with marketing agencies, professional service providers, and they love what it is that they do. What they may not have the skills of or for is to really make sure that their business is operating at peak performance. And that's what I do. That's what my passion is in the world. So there's places in these clients' businesses that they don't even know to look. They may think that the problem is a team problem. They may think the problem is they're not doing enough marketing. But oftentimes, that is not where the problems lie. And it's not until I really dig into their business that I figure out exactly what's going on. So let me cover the 5 areas that I see that people are leaving millions of dollars on the table in their business. The first place that people are leaving millions of dollars on the table in their business is by being poorly positioned or not positioned at all. So what positioning is you strategically communicating about your business in a way that is going to tell your target audience exactly why you are the clear and only choice out of everybody that they can go to in their business. And strategic positioning is something that is best left up to the professionals. This is something that even the most skilled strategists and brand marketing professionals have not necessarily quite nailed. In fact, I've only met one other person that can do what we do in our business for other companies, and they don't even do that anymore. It is really a strategic art form. So, what typically tends to happen is when people talk about positioning, they are looking about this deep into your business. But what really needs to happen is you've got to look at the market as a whole. You need to know, number one, who your ideal target clients are. And you can't be broad. It can't be like anyone with a checkbook, or anyone with a MasterCard with an unlimited limit. Like, you just can't do that. That does not a target market make, right? What you need to actually be doing is you need to be really specializing, because the companies that are making the most amount of money are the specialists in the market. And if you think about this, even in terms of my medical example, who do you think is going to make more money? A generalist that works at some clinic with 10 other doctors, or a brain surgeon that specializes in a specific technique? Well, obviously the brain surgeon does. But people often, out of a place of not knowing, out of a place of fear of like, well, I got to make sure I serve as many people as possible. They are often not positioned to be serving the right clients for what their specialty is. And that little mistake is going to thwart your entire marketing effort. Because if you are not properly positioned to address the specific problems that your ideal target clientele are needing, then you are going to be right off the gate. Everything you do after that is a waste of time and money and energy. Right off the bat, all of your marketing will never be what it could be, and you're going to be leaving millions of dollars on the table. So if you don't know that you are properly positioned, then you're probably not, right? If you can't, if you're like, oh no, I am very certain that I know exactly who my target audience is, I know exactly what their pain points are, and I know why we are the best and only person to provide them service, then you are likely not properly positioned and you are leaving millions of dollars on the table. A great example of poor positioning is I had a client that I've been working with now for over 6 years in a variety of my different companies. And when they came to us, they were making about $30,000 a month. By the way, this is nothing that is not public that they've not shared, but they were making about $30,000 a month. They're a medical device company. And ultimately, what was happening was they just weren't properly positioning their offering. There was actually quite a few things that are in this list that they actually were doing that we've been able to fix over time. But essentially, they weren't properly positioned. They were positioning themselves as a medical device. Now, here's the deal. This company has a passion to eradicate chronic pain. And what they really needed was a movement that surpassed their technology. And so that's what we did. We repositioned them in the marketplace. Now, 6 years later, we have made tens of millions of dollars and helped tens of thousands of people all over the world eradicate their chronic pain. Positioning is a huge deal that can be a major game changer to moving the needle in your business. The next thing that I see when I go into organizations and I'm looking for the missing millions is that they've got piecemeal tactics over strategy. And here's the deal, that's not your fault. If you go to any run of the mill coach, you go look at the content that's online, everyone is pitching tactics, right? People love to just be doing stuff all the time, right? They want to the next best thing, whether it's the webinar or the YouTube or the social media or whatever the thing is, the text marketing. People are just piecemealing together tactics. But you guys, the tactics are not what create the millions. It is the strategy that comes first. One of my favorite quotes about this is from Lao Tzu, and he says, strategy without tactics is the longest route to victory. But tactics without strategy is the noise before the defeat. And that could not be more true. When I am looking out in the marketplace and I'm looking at people that are providing education to entrepreneurs, I'm seeing a huge disservice in this where people are just flinging out tactics over and over and over again. And people that don't know business, like they're just doing what the experts are telling them to do. Well, this one thing, when we fix this in people's businesses, create a giant uptick in revenue and results. Because when we actually start with the strategy, which actually preceding that is clarity, we start with clarity, then we go into strategy, then alignment and execution. And when we follow that critical path, it will change the results in your business and ultimately generate millions more. The stringing together of tactics is one of the things where you are going to work really, really hard and you are going to waste a lot of time, energy, and money when you prioritize that over creating the strategy first and then strategically executing using the proper tactics that are going to align with your target audience and also with the way that best demonstrates your expertise in your business. The next place that I see people wasting millions or leaving millions on the table is they are constantly looking at generating new business, right? Now, some of you might be thinking to yourself, why is that a bad thing? Why is focusing on generating new business a bad thing? Because they're doing it at the expense of their existing and past clientele who already know the value of what they're offering to the world. So many people go out, they're like one hit wonders. They like market, they do a big launch, they do a big campaign, they generate all this new business, and then they immediately are like, great, we've got this big revenue bump, and they immediately go and they focus on the next big launch, right? They're like, these people are in, great, get them into the service, get them, get them whatever they bought, and they kind of push them off to the side, and they're like, all right, we're done here, and they move on to the next big launch and the next new wave of customers. I will tell you that this is one of the biggest mistakes that companies are making. And often when I go in and I'm analyzing businesses, I'm realizing that they do not have a good client support strategy. They do not have a good client retention strategy, and they also don't have a client cross-selling and upselling strategy. These are your clients that are going to consistently want to be buying more and more of your they're going to want to be buying more and more of your services. And this is a huge revenue miss for companies. Plus, the fact when you focus and prioritize on providing exceptional service to your existing clients, they're the ones that are going to stay with you year after year. And they're the ones that are going to refer you out to all of your friends because you've done such an amazing job for them. So that is another miss where I see people making a huge mistake and leaving money on the table. The next area that I see that people are leaving millions of dollars on the table is that they don't have a direct client path, meaning that they have not predetermined strategically in their head how exactly their clients are going to be coming to them. Like, where are they going to generate leads from? How are they going to capture those leads? Then, once they capture those leads, how are they going to nurture them and create this amazing experience for them that gets them onto a sales call, enrolls them into the right offer for them within your business, and ultimately then make sure that they are nurtured and receive 5-star service so that they ultimately want to provide you with testimonials and referrals and build your business for you. People don't often have that client path all sorted out. And without it, you're just not operating strategically, right? You're operating very tactically in your business. You're also not pre-designing the outcome. So as a strategist, I am always finding the ultimate outcome and reverse engineering my way backward. So I don't work forward this way. I work from the end result in mind and formulate the path backward. That is how I am going to create the best, most strategically efficient results for my clients that are going to create the needle movers in their business. And we're going to look at every aspect of that client journey to make sure that they are so impressed, that your clients are so impressed that they're not leaving, they're not going anywhere, right? And again, they're going to reward you by providing you excellent testimonials and referring you to all of their friends and colleagues. The last place that I find a ton of missing revenue and opportunity is just with strategic inefficiency in operations. And again, I kind of blame the coaching industry for this. So I think a lot of times when we as entrepreneurs, we get into the market and we're like, all right, I'm going to start a business. And now I know that I need to have a service to sell. I need to have products to sell. And all of these programs that people get into, they're like, all right, we got to get you making revenue. Don't get me wrong, revenue is important, right? Revenue is important, but there's short-term revenue and there's long-term revenue. And also, what's more important than revenue is profit. Now, there's two ways that you're going to create more profit in your business. The first is by increasing your revenue, right? You're going to make more money. You're going to bring in more clients. But you also have to make sure that you are managing the profitability of those offerings. You've got to make sure that everything is operating as efficiently as possible so that you are keeping more money. And this is something that most people out in the industry don't even focus on. So I've literally gone into businesses where when I've done a very quick calculation, I realize that they are providing services that there is no profit in. And it's not strategic. It's not a loss leader. It wasn't an intentional choice. It's literally that it costs them more to provide the service than it does that they're making money, and then they wonder why they don't have cash flow. And there's so many strategic inefficiencies in operations, and again, it's because the coaching world does not talk to you about building a strong infrastructure. They talk to you about making money. And then when you make that wave of money, you go out and make the next wave of money. So they are all about marketing and sales, marketing and sales. Well, there is a whole bigger piece to business, which is this operational foundation that's going to allow you not only to scale seamlessly, but also is going to allow you to scale your profitability so that you're keeping more of your hard earned money. And that's going to allow you to not only scale the business faster, but is also going to allow you to have the life and business that you desire. So when I'm looking at strategic inefficiencies, I'm looking at things like it's riddled within teams, right? It's riddled within teams. People often don't even know what they're paying their teams for. They don't even know if those team members are creating profitability in the business. But there's so much waste. There's waste because people aren't operating strategically. There's waste because they're having to redo things over and over and over again because they didn't think it all the way through. There's waste in expenditures. People are not looking at, oh my gosh, I've got 6,000 URLs that I'm paying for and I'm not even using them, or there's all this software that I am spending money on and there's more efficient solutions. They're not looking at automating. They're not looking at creating trainings that are training their and improving the efficiency in their workforce. So there's so many areas that we look at when we're looking at operations in a company where we are going to help you not only make more money, but keep more of the money you're earning. So if you are someone who does not have a strategist on staff, I highly recommend that you get one. It is literally the biggest ROI when you have a good strategist. It won't cost you any money because they're going to come in and they're going to find the money for you. They're going to help you create the new levels of revenue streams that you don't even see yet. They are the closest thing to a crystal ball in your company when you've got someone who knows what they're doing and they know where to look so that you can scale your company with ease and grace, doing the work that you love, and you can get your company working for you.